Welcome to the Manuchehri Show, where energy and medicine meet. I will be your host for the next hour. I have over 19 years of healthcare experience and began my career as an energy medicine practitioner while working as an oncology nurse at a Seattle area hospital. My skill in moving energy combined with my medical background have been a catalyst for change in many people's lives. I hope the next hour will be transformative for you as well. Good morning. This is Manuchehri. We are live here in really super gorgeous, kind of eerie, kind of looks like Twilight, Seattle.
It's mystical.
Yeah, it's really mystical.
I'm going to go with mystical.
It's really gorgeous. There's fog everywhere, but Mount Rainier is as clear as a bell. I mean,
really?
Oh my gosh, driving on the freeway today, in between Charles whining as we were going to doggy daycare, you could see the mountain, and it's covered in snow, so it looked like a snow cone, but it was so clear. I mean, I've lived here my whole life. I don't think I've seen it that clear in the winter. It was just stunning.
No, snow cone sounds really good right now.
It does?
What flavor would you choose?
Oh, probably blackberry or raspberry.
Nice.
What about you?
Go with like a blueberry kind of thing. A blue raspberry, you know?
Okay, there we go.
Because then you can explain the blue tongue later, like throughout the morning. You know?
You're so cute.
Yep.
Well, I think this morning, if you're listening to the show, you're going to get a lot of laughs. You're going to have a lot of fun because we have two amazing men. They're going to be on the radio show with us. We're very, very excited. We have, of course, one of our favorites, who's even had his own show here.
He's getting up into double digits on coming on the show.
Oh, like, really?
At least.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we're getting so close, I could tell.
Oh, so we have our beloved Dougall, and everyone wants to find true love. Everyone wants wants careers to follow their dreams. In short, everyone would like a peek into their future. And so psychic coach, cosmic coach, Dougall Fraser, who provides life coaching, is an expert in the business of futures. Whether you want to examine your past, present, or beyond, Dougall has a special ability to tune into your life. His relatable voice, down-to-earth humor, and dead-on predictions got him named Best Psychic in Dallas at the age of 20. So this is one of our guests, right? And then we have Radleigh Valentine. He had this incredible experience. I actually haven't met him before or spoke to him. But when he was 5 years old, an angel woke him up in the middle of the night and let him know that a house across the street was on fire. So Radleigh has the ability to recognize and tune into the divine guidance, eventually led him to leave behind a successful career in high finance and accounting to stretch his own spiritual wings as a sensitive and sought-after intuitive and medium and tarot reader. And if I remember correctly, designing tarot cards, like the biggest thing ever, right?
We just got a one-stop shop here.
Right. So welcome, guys, to the show.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Woo! Big applause. Only for you guys. Only for you.
And they're both coming to Seattle. So that's the big, lovely, wonderful thing, that all of you can spend an evening, a Friday night evening with both of these guys, February 7th at between 7 and 8:30. I mean, wow, this is going to be amazing. So welcome to the show, both of you.
Thanks, Marie. It's so good to be with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know we had a live studio audience. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're very blessed. I mean, our phone lines are actually already full from Portland to Virginia, California.
They're expensive. So. We only got them for an hour, so you guys got to get to it. Okay, here we go.
So, and you guys are friends.
Yeah, Radleigh, when I first got my show on Hay House Radio, he was so sweet, and he reached out and he posted on my Facebook page and said, welcome to the family. And then we exchanged phone numbers and started talking on the phone. And he's just the most lovely man and dear friend.
Aww.
And it's so fun to teach together. And when you said he designs tarot decks, he doesn't just design tarot. He's done like a cajillion decks of cards. The man is prolific and very...
I probably have a few of your decks, and I am so naive, I don't even know it. Right? I'm like not paying attention, obviously. But that's amazing. That's beautiful and amazing. Both of your works are very complementary. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why the two of you became fast and furious friends and love each other so much. What?
It was just an instant connection. I call it an instantaneous friendship. It was just add water. And I mean, the very first time we talked on the phone, we were blah, 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 for like an hour until he was like, okay, I got to go. I got a client. Bang, click. And it's like that every time we're together.
Like two yentas. Like
Exactly.
You guys are hysterical. Hysterical. So, Radleigh, what made you fall in love with the tarot?
You know, it's when I was young, like in my early 20s, and I realized that the religion of my childhood, because I was born and raised in the South, grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Wow.
and it just wasn't working for me. And so I started looking for an alternate spirituality. I was always into angels. There was no one to teach me in Knoxville, and so I turned to the internet, where I found a group of teachers across the country. And one of them happened to be a woman who not only loved angels, but she also loved this kooky, crazy thing called the tarot.
Wow.
And that's what turned me on to it. That's when I got super excited about it, and I've been playing with those little cards for over 30 years now. I'm 38. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. Yeah.
Me too.
Actually,
I started when I was 8. Yeah.
well, I actually have an accurate number here for you that you have done 12. You've done 12 Hay House I Can Do events, and you also teach regularly in London and Germany and Austria.
I do. I
Yeah.
love Europe. I love going to Europe.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So you guys became fast and furious friends, and now you're both going to be coming to Seattle on February 7th between 7 and 8:30, doing tandem joint readings for the audience. I mean, nobody should miss this. Nobody. No, seriously.
Well, and it's my favorite thing to do tandem readings, because I know a lot of times earlier in my spiritual career, I would pick one teacher that I was really obsessed with and only follow their body of work. And one of the things I love about co-teaching, not only with Radleigh, but other people,
yeah, like Alan Cohen and
yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on Alan.
Right. I know he's a lovely man. Yes.
He's so incredible. But then you get to see two different philosophies and also how they blend together. Because when Radleigh and I started working together, he would see a particular angel for someone, I would be seeing color around them, and I had no idea that those things complemented each other. I didn't know archangels had colors, because that just wasn't in my wheelhouse. And it's been super cool to see how the information blends and then ultimately magnifies for the person asking the question.
And for those of you who've probably seen Dougall on many, television shows, he's been on The Real Housewives of OC, Dancing with the Stars, VH1's Best Week Ever, The John Walsh Show, and Good Day LA. Just to mention a few. I know there's others as well. So
what's funny about the Best Week Ever, though? They were technically making fun of me, but I decided to take my power back and be like, you know what? Well, at least I was on there.
Right? No,
so I listed
of
that
course.
credit.
Yeah, you should. You should actually, of course, should be very proud of everything that you've done. Both of you. I think it takes a lot to, be a woo-woo person in the world, right? And well, that's kind of how I sometimes
No. What's funny about that is that Hay House has categories for its authors. There's a category that's called finance. There's a category that's called health and wellness. They literally have a category called woo-woo.
Yeah,
and Dougall and I are both in it.
Yes, we are. That is our lane.
I love your lane. I think it's incredible. I love it. I love it so much. So do you guys have like a strategic plan for, February 7th? Like, do you have like a theme that you're thinking about? Or, because even when I post a title to a class, I kind of have my own agenda that maybe the audience doesn't know about, like some lovely, high, passionate vibration that I hope everybody soaks their entire being into, when I teach a class.
So for me on February 7th, especially because it's a Friday night and people are carving time out of their life, I really want it to be a joyful, fun experience. Radleigh and I are not about like heavy messages where people are crying. It's uplifting. It's about smiling. It's about like healing through laughter.
Wow.
And so for us, a large part of it will be really just explaining how we connect with energy and then doing tandem readings. On the 8th, our workshop, that has more of a mission behind it about teaching people how to sort of manifest and create their destiny with the power of color, and then of course with the angels as well.
So Saturday you have a lovely workshop with East West as well. For some reason, I'm so sorry it's not in my notes, so I apologize for that. So I'm very glad I asked that question. So on Saturday, you're going to go ahead and have a whole day long experience teaching people even your formulas or helping them get to their formula or whatever needs to occur.
And I just have to say, Radleigh does this thing that is so incredible, Marie, where he calls archangels into the room and places them in the corners.
Oh my gosh.
every time he does it, I'm like, wait, I have to pay attention because I'm also teaching here. But I go into this like trance-like state. They're so beautiful and it's so lovely. It's such a cool experience. Where did that come from, Radleigh?
Well, I mean, I am very proud that one of my superpowers is putting Dougall into a trance.
You just want to keep me quiet.
Wow. Okay. No, go ahead. No, you go ahead, Radleigh. Yeah, and then I'll say.
No, I mean, it's just something, to be honest natural. With you, you know what? It's like I started doing those kinds of meditations because my German producer insisted. I do an event called Angle Congress almost every year. There's like 3,000 people that show up, and she insisted. She's like, I want meditations from you. I want you to do this. And I literally just walked out on stage, and it just sort of came out of me. And you know, a dear friend of mine named Kyle Gray was in the audience, and he's like, I don't know who that was, but be that person for the rest of your life. and so that's when it started.
When I was reading your bio, I could see the angels following you around, the archangels, right? You know, they just love you. I think you've had multiple lifetimes together, and you were the one who said, okay, I'll go back to Earth. It's fine, you know? And they said, okay, yeah, we'll follow you around while you're on planet Earth.
Well, they bribe you with like pizza and chocolates
and earthly sex, which is very different than you know.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Yeah, right. I just love it, but
how dare they?
Right. So you guys have a beautiful workshop coming up on Saturday, right? So Angels and Auras workshop with Dougall and Radleigh. From 10:30 to 5:30 p.m. So you definitely want to go to the East West Bookshop and sign up immediately because East West stuff sells out very fast in our area. So you definitely want to make sure you get this done today so that these lovely and beautiful men can help you feel inspired, answer questions for you, and help you tap into your own, you know, elevated consciousness and awareness so that you can do that when they go back home, which does happen. So, right, like you leave the area and, you know, then people have to figure it out in between sessions with the two of you. They got to figure out their own life. So, Dougall, what's one of your current projects that you're working on right now?
Oh, God, that's a great question. Well, I'm about to go back to Japan. So we're doing a long form course on teaching people how to have like a total life transformation. So I'm writing that right now. Wow. I'm working on a new book proposal for Hay House at the moment, and I've been very lazy about it. There's a lot on and just trying to juggle it all and keep it together.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Those sound amazing.
Thanks.
And Radleigh, how many tarot decks have you created?
So I have 5 tarot decks, 1 angel oracle card deck. I'm currently working on 3 new tarot decks simultaneously for Hay House and converting my 3 books to audio books. And I'm also going to be solving world peace yeah, my friends at Hay House are like, you're nuts, but that's what I do.
Well,
you know what I love about Radleigh's decks, Marie, is
what?
You always can spot a Radleigh deck from across the room because the imagery is so well, seriously, there are a lot of decks that have like spooky, you know.
Right.
Sort of
I know. I'm not attracted to those ones actually. Those scare me. Yeah, I get scared, you know, right? Because I always get the devil card, the hangman, and the tower. I mean, it's just
oh, good Lord.
It's constant.
Which says nothing about the intensity in your life.
Right.
Yeah, well, I renamed all 3 of those cards.
Oh, you did? Thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, it was like, what is the point of having some guy laying face down in a pool of blood with 10 swords in his back?
So
just
scary.
So you can say the situation has ended. So, I mean, it's just how melodramatic can you be? It's like an episode of, I don't know, The Real Housewives of Orange County. But it's like, it doesn't need to be that way. And so, and when Dougall said he can spot my decks from across the room, I wanted to sing Some Enchanted Evening.
Right. Well, and we know you're a firm believer in the power to create your own reality by tapping into magic that is direct connection with the divine. Your books, How to Be Your Own Genie, and Magical Things, offer a lifetime of practical but exhilarating lessons in how to manifest a magical life and define and learn your own unique language for connecting with the unlimited magic of Source and dreams, you know, so that all of our dreams can come true. Right. I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, Dougal, your book colors, because red's not my favorite color, but yet, I'm a major, I love romance, I love
Yeah.
romance. So after reading your book, I have worked at making sure that I put red in my life, whether it's a pillow or a candle or even to just stare longingly at beautiful red colors so that I can get that vibration in my body.
Well,
So,
it's so funny to me that you don't like red, because
yeah.
red is such a symbol of a healer as well. And you are such an incredible healer.
Thank
But also it teaches about the exchange of energy. And as any healer listening knows, healers tend to focus more on giving energy to others, and we forget about receiving energy.
Right.
So it's a good color for us to remind ourselves that we have enough energy coming in to also be able to do what we love to do.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you. That book is amazing. I think it just knowing the vibration of a color, which is so practical and powerful, can transform one's life. And I love your stories too in your book because
Thank you.
they're genuine. You can understand them. They make sense. They're relatable. It's just lovely. So, Google, are you from Dallas? Because you won the best psychic at 20. So, were you raised in Dallas?
No, I'm actually from Long Island. And when I was
Oh.
17, I dropped out of high school and moved to Dallas, because that's what all gay psychics do. They leave New York and they go to the South.
God.
Right, exactly. Of course.
And my sister lived there, who is a huge, component to my soul group, and I just adore her. And so I lived there for 5 years, and then I moved back to actually New York City. But I lived in Dallas for a short period of time. It's a great place for me to connect and learn. And we go there often because our family lives there and my niece and nephew are there, but I wasn't raised there per se.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm now remembering because I read your very first book, but I just read it probably 10 years ago on a beach when I was on vacation in Hawaii. So I didn't
remember that.
Yeah. Okay,
So if I could just
yes,
interject one brief
please.
correction, some gay psychics leave the South
Right.
Yeah, right, which is a really
and
good
head
idea.
west.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. It's a great idea, and to go back and teach, right, and help other people feel comfortable about themselves wherever they live in the world, which is
100%.
really profound and powerful. Okay, so obviously, class Friday night and the amazing workshop on Saturday is going to be full of laughter because you guys are funny. You guys are hysterical. And you're both, I like funny people, but I like smart, funny people, so that you're laughing your, what off, because I always forget what words I can say on the air.
That works.
That one works, but okay.
That works.
So you're laughing your
Or tuchus.
or tuchus. Yeah, that one's
Thanks.
a good one. And you're learning very high vibrational, practical stuff at the same time. And you're also in the background. Maybe there's like awareness of the consciousness of reality. Feathered into the mix of a high vibrational experience with the two of you. February 7th and 8th here in Seattle for East West Bookshop. Very exciting and beautiful.
Without question, my favorite way to teach is laughter through poignancy.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Because it's like laughter lightens people up. It opens them up. It allows them to feel safe, to feel in a place where it's like, okay, this is cool. I'm all right. And then when the poignancy comes in, they're opened up to it. They can connect to the divine. They can feel the angels. They can have this sense of safety that the laughter provided.
Wow.
And on the 8th, this is a very interactive experience. Radleigh and I are big believers in pair work. And so they will see us work together and how we've supported each other and how we move energy in our life. And then we invite the group to do some pair work with this idea that we're creating this safe environment to talk about who you are, what you feel like your mission is, how to get stronger in that vision. And then when you leave the event, you go out into your world just feeling a little bit clearer, a little bit stronger, so that you can really make your dreams come true. Because ultimately, that's what we want to do, is remind people that they're in the driver's seat of their life. It's fun to make predictions. It's fun to see energy. But at the end of the day, it's your action and your vision that makes things happen.
Right. And I think that, all three of us, because we have found careers that light our souls on fire and feed us every single day. That's why we're a little bit workaholics, clearly, listening to you guys' schedules and other things you're producing. But when you fall in love with something, and really nobody really cares what it is. If you love what you do for work, you don't care if you're selling green tea off the side of the freeway. I mean, you don't care what it is. You're so happy, you're so fulfilled. And because we get to experience that, and the two of you are coming here to share more of that with us next month. Of course, we want everyone to have that. We pray that everyone has that experience in their lifetime, or whatever necessary things that their soul wants to have in this unique time-space reality called Earth. Yeah, that's very exciting. Very exciting. Okay, so both of you read regularly. You know, you have clients that you read for. So how can people get a hold of you for that?
Well, Radleigh's super fancy and doesn't do private sessions anymore.
What?
So, yeah, I know.
I mean, Radleigh, I was seriously thinking of booking a session with you. Come on. You don't do what?
Those decks are flying off the shelves, Marie.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So you don't do private sessions anymore. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I respect that, because clearly you were done. Like you're retired, or you're taking a long break, and you'll let me know when you go back to doing readings again.
My schedule for creating decks and stuff like that is so insane that and plus my travel schedule. I mean, I was like in 20 cities last year.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's like every time anything would go wrong, it would throw the schedule into chaos.
Right. I understand.
And at some point my team was like, you're done. When you're no longer making decks, we'll talk again.
Great. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna wish for anything but complete joy for you. But okay, all the more reason that Radleigh is now fancy, that you have to go to this class. I like that.
Right.
I think that you have to go to this class. Okay. So Dougall.
Yeah.
How can people get a hold of you for readings?
So I still do private sessions. I do coaching as well. And you can go to DougallFraser.com to get more information. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, and anywhere.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. And then your decks, Radleigh, are everywhere, right? Like
they are everywhere. So yeah, you can find them literally at any metaphysical bookstore, on every single major bookseller. They're everywhere. And you can find out more about my stuff at radleighvalentine.com.
Yay.
Or also Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Not on TikTok. I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like.
You know, I've seen that word a couple times, because I'm a little bit older than both of you. So, you know, that's why I have to have young assistants to help me with technology.
Is that your secret?
Oh, yeah. And plus I have young daughters who go, okay, Mom, this is what you do now, you know. So that's my secret.
So the kids are doing, right?
Yeah. And then I learn little things, but I haven't figured out TikTok yet, but I've heard about it. So that must
everybody's jumping on, but it's to
Really?
me it looks like it's for 14-year-olds. I don't know
not
what I'm supposed to do on there.
Well, just to give you guys, okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm because really I don't want to add another thing. You know, like that's enough. But just so you know, guys, as you creep a little bit in your age, which both of you will look incredibly handsome and look vital and be amazing. Everybody is going to start to look 12. I'm just saying, you know, you're going to go to the doctor's office and you're going to go, you're 12.
Have you seen them drive? I mean, let alone, I'm like, that kid should not be behind the wheel right now.
Right, yeah. So just know this theme is going to continue, and luckily you'll look just like them. You will. You're going to look just like them. So anything else you want to add to our lovely chat today before we go off and get ready to welcome both of you to Seattle? And I hope the weather will be stunning for you while you're here.
Oh, I'm sure it will. I love coming to Seattle. And Marie, I just have to say, I think you're a delight. I've always enjoyed your work. I love your personality. I think you do beautiful things on the planet.
Oh, you're so kind.
Always fun to play with you.
Well, thank you. I agree. I mean, we should do this more often, guys. This is fun. This is
I'd love
a
that.
joy.
Totally.
I would love
We can
that.
do that.
Okay, I would love that. We'll make it a whole hour next time and get down to some more nitty gritty. Sounds wonderful.
You should come to Alaska with us. We're doing a cruise to Alaska in August. Actually, I'm going to send you an email about that.
Look at the
I
poses.
would-
Everyone just
okay.
buzzed out all big.
Oh,
It's a bunch of spiritual teachers, and that would be super fun. I'm going to send you an email about that.
okay, thank you. Thank
Both
you very
of Lisa
much.
and Marie's eyes just got big like icebergs. Seriously. Glacier-size icebergs. I mean,
yeah.
I see it. I see it.
We would love to. Love to you both. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And everybody, run to eastwestbookshop.com right now. Reserve your tickets. You do not want to miss this. Friday night, the 7th, 7 to 8:30, and Saturday, 11 to, I believe, 5:30 it is. But you'll find out when you get to East West Bookshop. They'll have all the information there. Buy your tickets. This is going to sell out fast. I wish both of you a beautiful, gorgeous day. Of course, you will have one because you live in gorgeous places, and safe travels. And maybe I'll see you guys soon.
That would be great. Thanks,
Okay.
Marie.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was a
Bye,
pleasure.
Benny.
Bye. And let's give out the number, 877-825-8828 for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll take those phone calls right after this break. We'll be right back with more. On February 7th, you have a chance to see two psychics together at the East West Bookshop. Join angel and tarot experts Radleigh Valentine and Dougall Fraser for a soulful night of insight and tandem readings. Dear friends Dougall and Radleigh will talk about their unique connection to color and the angelic realm. They will also be doing live readings for several audience members. Come to the East West Bookshop on February 7th for a night of learning and laughter. That's February 7th at the East West Bookshop. Go to eastwestbookshop.com to purchase your tickets.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 a.m. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com, streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
Hi, this is Marie Manuchehri, and I'm excited to share upcoming online courses that I'll be offering in 2020. Mastering the What If Phenomenon. April 22nd and 29th of 2020. As many of you know, we talk a lot about the phenomenon of what if questions. What if questions to me are the equivalent to affirmations. However, they have a kick to them. We're working on numbing the ego so that it doesn't scare us every time we work on creating and manifesting something in our life. I personally believe that affirmations don't work very well because the ego mind is intimidated by things that we affirm that we have yet to create a belief system about. So, what if questions resolve that conflict? Because the ego is not threatened by curiosity. So when we ask a what if question, what if I easily receive wealth? We quickly create a belief system in the neurotransmitters. I believe what if questions work 1,000 times faster than affirmations, which sometimes affirmations can take over 10 years to create the belief system in your brain. So April 22nd and 29th of 2020, I will be offering a 2-part 90-minute course, 7 to 8:30, yes, on Wednesdays again, on mastering what if phenomenon, so you can quickly create the belief systems that you desire to manifest the things that you have already really placed into motion, so you can allow them into your life and have the life of your dreams. I hope you can join me.
The most dangerous day for a newborn is her first day of life. Every 31 seconds, an infant dies from infections, pneumonia, malnutrition. But she doesn't have to die. For more than 60 years, Project Hope has been saving lives around the world, delivering medicines and supplies, giving newborns a healthy start, making sure her first day of life is not her last, because everyone deserves hope. To volunteer or learn more about Project Hope, visit projecthope.org/newborns.
Marie is doing it again. She's headed to Greece for another fabulous retreat on the island of Syros. This time, it's a week-long adventure with sun, swimming, incredible food, daily yoga, and a 4-star accommodation, which will include intimate and powerful teachings to help you manifest your dreams into your reality. Space is limited to just 25 lucky and blessed individuals who are ready to generate an astonishing life. Even if you're not sure what possibilities are in store for you, this retreat in glorious Greece will propel you into the vibrational awareness you crave. You will learn, practice, and play with lecture, meditation, and enjoy all the spectacular land and seascapes this magnificent and remote location has to offer. For more information or to book your accommodations, visit energyintuitive.com or call 425-485-8813 for this amazing retreat.
Find out the latest about your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150. Check out 1150kknw.com.
Manuchehri show.
The Barbara Streisand show?
Yeah,
No,
there you
no,
go.
no.
Yeah, we're live here in really gorgeous Seattle, and that was so much fun. I love those guys.
Those
they
two
were amazing.
are amazing together.
They're a hoot.
Yep.
They're a hoot. Okay, so we're going to take callers' questions. Who do we have?
Yes, and real fast, they have been waiting so patiently,
I know.
and we
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Yeah,
we really appreciate that.
totally. So we'll start with Darnell, who's calling in from California. Hi, Darnell.
Hi, Benny. Hi, Marie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. What can I do for you?
I was just calling for a general read and to see if you could give me a what if question.
Okay. All right. So you want a general reading? Are you sure you don't have a specific question? Because I can do a general reading, but I think you have a specific question. You just don't necessarily want to ask it. You know what I mean? You can ask it in code. You can ask it in code.
No, I don't. I really don't have a question. But I feel like I'm just so scatterbrained that maybe there's a question I'm not in touch with it.
Okay. All right. Well, because when I look at your energy, you're an organized person. You have, so organized people usually have things kind of planned out or moved around in a way that's, designed and carefully. So I'll just let you know, I read your energy. You're taking in quite a bit of energy, actually, the crown, the third eye, the fifth, the fourth, beautiful. You do have a leak in your first chakra, significant leak, actually.
Okay.
So this chakra is about first family. So it's about your family of origin that you were born into. Do you have any issues going on right now with that?
Yes, I do. I have a foster daughter who is doesn't have her mom right now, and my mom wasn't there when I was a baby. So.
Wow. Okay. So you have a foster daughter whose mom isn't around, and you didn't have a mother when you were little enough, apparently, and so it's pushing all of your buttons, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have you and your mom ever had? Have you guys ever had the conversation?
Not really. We didn't talk much, but she's deceased.
Oh, she is. Okay. So guess what? You can have the conversation now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what you need to do. So I would love it if you go ahead and write down up to 10 things that you would love to have a conversation with her about. I want you to make like a sacred ceremony. Put candles around. Maybe get one of Radleigh's tarot decks and get beautiful Dougall's his beautiful book of colors, and just have a sacred, beautiful moment. Invite your mother in. She's already going to be there. There's no doubt about that. Because when people cross over, they have a life review and they get to see what they did or didn't do or things of that nature, and start to tell her everything that bothered you. You can yell at her. The other side doesn't care. You can swear. You can do whatever you want. The other side will just cradle you and love you and let you release all of this stuff so that you can heal your own wounds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This will be so fun for you. And you're ready. In fact, I think this beautiful young lady that came into your life has been the launching pad for you to heal this finally, because you've done tons of work on it. Like you're a wise person, like, okay, I should go get therapy. This weird thing happened in my life, right? So you've done all the right stuff, but this is about just letting this completely fly away and just not be something that affects you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. So good job. And let me know how it goes. Let me know how that beautiful ceremony goes for you whenever you decide to do it.
I will. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Marie.
Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thanks, Darnell, for joining us from California. 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. And we'll take now Joan calling in from the Portland area. Hi, Joan.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course, Joan. What can I do for you?
I wanted to ask you to please look at my blood sugar levels and some of the energetic reasons behind these high blood sugar levels.
Yeah, your energy is really interesting, because when I talk to you, your voice is calm, relaxed, but you're leaking energy from your crown and your root and your second thus far. I haven't even drawn, whatever that word is, the arrows for the rest of your chakras. Sometimes when you do energy work, like I just lose language.
Your drawings.
Yeah, drawings, yeah. And the root chakra governs the properties in the blood, like your blood sugar. And you have a significant leak. You're the second person today that has a significant leak in their first chakra. So, do you think you have stuff from childhood that you have not figured out yet?
Oh, so what do I do?
Well, first I'm asking the question, do you think that's true?
I'm sure. It was a crazy childhood. I 100% believe it. I think I've come a long way, but I'm sure there's just dust bunnies and cobwebs.
Dust bunnies, right. So when someone has issues with their blood sugar, what they're wanting is the sweetness of life, which is so interesting, right? Because for some reason their body's not balancing, like their beautiful islet of Langerhans cells and their pancreas isn't delivering enough insulin into their bloodstream potentially, right? So there's something off going on that's creating either an elevated blood sugar or a low blood sugar. So what I would love for you to do is to focus on that in your current reality. Like really remind yourself how wonderful your life is, how lucky you are, how everything's okay, how fortunate you are, how blessed you are. I want you to start taking in, even if you don't 100% agree with that statement, that you are so lucky to be living the sweetness of life now. I want you to start taking that in. I think that's going to lower your blood sugar. And I do have one suggestion, and you never have to do what I say. I'm not a nutritionist. I still am a registered nurse, but I haven't been in a hospital in 20 years. But have you ever done any of the intermittent fasting?
I actually just heard about this, and I'm like, okay, this could be a real good.
I think it'll be a game changer for you because it helps the cells kind of reboot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you would recommend like I stop eating at 6 and I don't eat until like 9, like that kind of intermittent fasting?
Yeah, I think it's 12 to 16 hours. You get to, different people have different philosophies. So yeah, you have a significant time. So whenever you finish eating at night, whatever that is, you don't eat until at least 12 hours later.
Okay,
or
cool.
14. You'll have to do some research to find out which one is the most recommended timetable. I really can't do more than 16 hours. I mean, my body doesn't like that, right? So I think it would be great for you. And also what I've learned, because I do this protocol, not all the time, but I do it maybe a few times a week or maybe 7 times a month. It just depends on my schedule and what's going on, is that you don't have to do it every day. That's what I wanted to get across. Like maybe you do it 3 days a week, or you do it on the weekends, or do it in a place where it's comfortable for you and you can relax, and it'll jumpstart your immune system for sure. But start appreciating the sweetness of life.
Okay, and then you said I'm also every other chakra is a disaster.
No. I mean, I just didn't finish writing it out because I'm going to be answering other callers' questions, but your crown chakra and your root have a significant link. So does your second chakra. So the root and the seventh chakra, so the first and the seventh chakra are pairs for each other. So it's not that uncommon to have them both leaking at the same time, but it is kind of uncommon for them both to have significant leaks at the same time, if that makes sense.
So just focusing on the sweetness should also kind of take care of the top since they're mates?
I think it will. I think it will. And try using more of a spiritual practice, meditating, relaxing, all of those things. Okay.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Joan, for joining us from the Portland area. 877-825-8828 is the number. We'll travel now back over to the East Coast, and we have Emma joining us from Virginia. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Benny.
How are you?
Good. I just got the kids. This show is always when I have to put my kids down for a nap that I nanny for. So I just got them down and stepped outside.
We know how that feels.
Timing.
We know how that feels.
Congratulations. That's amazing. Is this your first time calling into the show?
Nope.
Okay.
This is my second.
And was it helpful?
Oh, yes. I've been practicing it every day.
Great.
What you taught me. You always come into my mind when I need it. So
great. So what can I do for you today?
So today I have some questions about how to move forward in my life, about where I'm living and if that's where I should sort of put roots down with my husband or if we should go somewhere else.
Well, are you guys happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
So,
so I'm living on my parents' property, and so that's kind of tricky because there's all the family energy there.
Right. But you guys are like from what I can see, you're enjoying what's happening. You are able to pretty much maneuver through your parents' stuff. They're thrilled that you're there.
Yeah.
You can save money,
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to recommend. Because you're one of those individuals, and I get it. I can be one of these individuals like this as well. You're kind of, you keep looking out towards the future. Now what's next? What should I be doing now? And What's around the corner?
I love projects.
Well, I would prefer that you wait until you are inspired by the divine before you even consider moving.
Okay, but what about Scotland? Because I love Scotland, and when you talk about joy and bliss, like that's what comes into my mind.
I know, but does your husband want to move to Scotland?
No.
Yeah. So you are so adorable. Listen.
But I think we could figure it out.
Okay, but
I could bring my goats. I can put them on a boat.
No, you can't. I'm telling you, they're going to quarantine them forever. Your animals will be, miserable.
Yes, you're right.
You'd have to just go get Scottish goats, which is fine.
Or get your own boat.
Get your own boat. But I mean, so I want you to listen to what I said again, because you can't quite hear what I said. And that is that you need to wait until you are, this is the word I didn't use, which is new, authentically inspired by the divine.
Okay.
And when we're inspired by the divine, everything works out. It's not hard. It's easy. Everything comes together. It just snaps together like glue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know what that feels like. It's just hard when you don't get inspired for a while.
Well, I think you need to. So what happens is when you look towards the future, you're missing out your daily fun inspiration, and you're missing out on the beautifulness the universe wants to communicate to you in the moment, if that makes sense.
I see. Yes, I see.
So I want you to stay in your body and have fun where you live, because it's quite lovely where you live. It's beautiful.
Yes, it's a great place.
And your kids are so lucky they're being spoiled by multiple generations of people,
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see anything wrong with your current living situation. Of course, it's going to change at some point. But if you can just enjoy where you are and stop trying to change it so quickly, then it'll become obvious, apparent, and it will all click in beautifully. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
And could I ask real quick about like career stuff? If I should be like, what I can, if you have any insight to what sort of life work I should be doing.
I think you need to get
present.
present.
The same answer?
I think you need. I know it's going to be wonderful and amazing, and it's probably going to be something in the multisensory world kind of work. But I think you have to get present so you can hear the divine, so that you'll know what to do next. Because you tend to go.
I wrote all the answers down before I called you, and that's what it said.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Good job.
The answer was Virginia and goats. So
I'm very proud of you, by the way. Good job.
Thank you, Marie.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
Guys.
All righty.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks so much, Emma. And let's see here. 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. And we're still ripping right through on a good speed here. Kirsten calling in from Eugene, Oregon. Hi, Kirsten.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course, Kirsten. What can I do for you?
I feel so grateful to be talking to you.
Is this your first time calling in?
It is my first time calling in.
Thank you.
And I am a student of somebody who was your mentee. She studied under you.
Oh.
So you probably know.
Oh, is it Susan?
What's that?
Is it Susan by chance?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I love Susan Tate. If when you see her next, will you kiss her and hug her for me? And also tell her she needs to come back to Seattle so we can go out to dinner, because I haven't seen her in quite a while. And she used to come a couple times a year, so if she could come and we can go out to dinner, that would be great.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. I will pass that on. I know I was listening to all the fun things happening in Seattle and thinking, oh, my gosh.
Time to come up, right?
Closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what can I do for you?
So I had called with the idea of kind of a general reading, but I think what I'm trying to get clarity on in my life is just figuring out how to enhance and hone my extrasensory skills, and how do I incorporate the metaphysical into my everyday life, and maybe clarity just kind of around career path, doing what I love.
Well, interesting enough, when I drew out your energy, I feel like you're not fully embodying your light, and typically people who don't fully embody their light, it means like part of your energy mass is hanging out too far away from your physical form, like maybe in your aura or even outside of your auric field. And so a lot of that is because you can read other people actually pretty well, is what I'm being told. And you like it. And so you're kind of always reading everyone. You know what I mean? And I would prefer that not that I don't want you to do that, but I want you to be fully embodied while you do that, because you need to read yourself. So I think when I look at readers and psychic reading and spiritual reading or whatever you want to call it, it does remind me quite a bit of nursing because nurses are on the go. They're running very fast. And one of the things that charge nurses do is they remind their staff to go to the bathroom because there's literally nurses will hold their bladder all day long, which is very unhealthy, right? So so if you don't embody yourself, you can't check in with what your needs are. You can't, so that when something comes up like, oh, this would be a great opening for me about how to expand my business, or this is another technique that I perhaps need to engage in. So I want you to embody your light more, and then your ability to read will be exponentially enhanced because everything comes from the present moment, sitting with yourself, even if it feels boring or silly or tedious. It's actually one of the most powerful things you will ever do in your life is getting to know yourself, falling in love with you, valuing who you are, all of that.
What might be some tips to embody my light more?
My favorite tool that it's kind of a go-to, and I teach it quite a bit, is to just rest in the pelvic cavity. Like have your awareness leave your brain and literally rest in your pelvis close to the second chakra or the third. And instantly you may start to feel the rest of your body, like your limbs, or notice that your legs are uncomfortably crossed. Because most people don't even feel the discomfort that their body's having the feelings because their posture is off, or they're holding their hands too tightly, or their legs are wind together and they're cutting off their circulation. Most people have no idea what they're actually physically experiencing. So that's what I would recommend. Get in your body, start feeling your body.
Okay. I do yoga regularly, like every weekday.
Yeah, but that's what, an hour. You need to be in your body all day long. So maybe every hour you focus on your physical form.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And I have your book. Is there anything maybe particularly in your book that you would go, oh, take a close look at that chapter?
I would recommend the very last chapter. There's a body scan, and I think it's really fun, and that would help you to be more interested in your own physical energy as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, and have
so
fun
much.
in your classes.
Oh, thanks. I love it. And I can't
good.
wait to tell Susan that I got to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you for sending my love to her. I really appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay.
Have a great day. Thanks
You
so
too.
much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thanks very much, Kirsten, for joining us. 877-825-8828 is the number. And now we'll take Sharon, who's calling in from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Sharon.
Hey there. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course, Sharon. What can I do for you today?
Hi. So I'm had a health challenge last year, a major one, and was wondering if you could scan me. You know, when you go into remission, there's always that fear that it's going to come back and whatnot.
Right. And that was last year. You finished all your treatments.
Yes.
Good job. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for you. So what I'm being told is that you did a really good job moving through all of that. Don't you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, which is really incredible because what we believe and how we feel affects how medicine affects us, affects how treatments affect us, right? So you were able to maneuver through it and your body actually did very well. It's really amazing. So
thank you.
How about a what if question? Like, what if everything's great? What if I can let go and know that my body is incredibly healthy, my immune system is phenomenal, and I get to live as long as I want to here on planet Earth? And if that last part scares you, you don't have to add that in. But I just think you should start doing some what if questions because there's nothing for you to do now. You did it. You're done. Your job is to keep your vibration really, really elevated because when people have a health issue, there typically is something that they need to learn. And I think you learned it. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right. So let's, and that's true for anything. If someone is getting a divorce or there's a bankruptcy or they get fired from their job, those events happen so that we will learn something or we have the opportunity to learn something that's very profound for us on a personal level. And you did. So now you just need to do what if questions and let go and just coast through life and have fun and be grateful.
I love that.
Yay! So that could be the fun what if question. What if I'm just coasting through life and I'm just experiencing gratitude? And then we're not putting in any of those other words that might trip you up, you know? What if I'm just coasting through life and I'm just experiencing gratitude? How does that sound?
Yes, my focus has been on keeping my vibration high.
Yeah.
It's so funny you use that terminology because that's what my focus has been with Reiki and yoga and you name it.
Great. And try not to do it out of fear, but just out of joy and fun. Like, everything's okay. I'm having fun now. I'm coasting. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any insight into coasting into what I should do with my life? Because now things have changed so much. You know, I'm in such a different place. I'm trying to incorporate it and move in a direction from here.
Mm-hmm. And did you leave your other work, or were you not working outside of the home, or what happened?
I was teaching yoga for years and years, and as you know, you probably know, that's more of a service. And my husband's like, "You need a real job."
Yeah.
And so I had my own company for several years, which probably honestly led to where I was.
And it is a real
last
job, by the way. It is a real job. It's just that, and this isn't true for everyone, because some people can actually create wealth with, interesting careers. But there's certain careers where I feel like individuals have kind of more of a poverty consciousness. And I know you don't live in poverty. I know that you have a very comfortable life. I can see it. But for you personally, so I would work on receiving so that as you attract what's next for you, which you already know, you want to do either energy work or spiritual readings. You want to work in the multisensory world. That's what you want to do, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you get to do that. Real desires are indicators of what's next. They're not like, okay, maybe I can do this. But if it's a real, authentic desire, that's your soul speaking to you. But you're going to have to work on the receptivity aspect. You're going to have to learn to receive, because that's how you attract clients. That's how you allow them to pay you. That's how if you write a book, you find a publisher. Everything's about receptive energy. Everything.
Right. Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much. This was my first time. And it's a pleasure to meet
you. And congratulations on your healing. Again, I'm very proud of you. Good job.
Thank you so much, Marie.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Sharon, for joining us from Atlanta. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Manuchehri Show. We have a couple minutes left in the show. We'll go quickly, as many as we can. So Cindy from Eugene now is joining us. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Great. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course. What can I do for you?
Well, my husband and I are about to have our second Saturn return, and I wanted to know if you had any insight.
Well, I'm not an astrologer, but I love astrology. I'm actually in my second Saturn return right now, actually. And so what I've read a lot about is that it's going to have some sort of familiar theme to what was happening in your first Saturn return. So do you remember what was going on at that time in your life? Because usually people make huge shifts and choices or complete, big projects during that time. So what happened during your first Saturn return? That's usually 28 through 30, right around there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my second child at birth.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.
It was a big spiritual opening, though.
Right. So that's what happened, is you had a spiritual opening, right? I mean, along with, of course, this tragic loss. I'm very sorry. And I love how you've worked through it so beautifully. That's amazing. How amazing is that, right? So you had a spiritual opening. Do you want another one?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Because what I literally see when I'm looking at you is you're at a crossroads and you need to make some decisions. Agreed? Hello? Are you there? Okay.
Yes,
Do you agree with what I said?
I do, but I love what I do.
Okay, so what do you do?
I'm a hairstylist. I own a salon with my best friend, and we just have fun all day long.
Okay, great. So perhaps, right. So maybe it's not a crossroads in your work. Is there another area of your life that you feel a crossroads with?
Well, I've been thinking about volunteering for hospice.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, good hairdressers are psychic anyway. They just are. That's just a reality of it. Because you have your hands on everyone's third eye and seventh chakra all day long. How could you not learn how to read energy, right? And I really like my hairdresser, and luckily she keeps everything at the salon, whatever we talk about, because one of my children and one of my son-in-laws also sees her. So, she keeps it lipped up, which is very nice. I appreciate that about her. But what if just because you love what you do doesn't mean there isn't something else for you to love even more? So I highly recommend that you start volunteering for hospice. I highly recommend that. And let's just see what happens next. You could still keep your salon and cut hair a couple times a week. Or you can be like Radleigh, who no longer sees clients, but he still makes his cards, right? So be open and don't be afraid of this change because it's coming and it's going to happen. Okay?
Okay. What about my husband?
I can't answer any more questions. They're playing the music. But yeah, so ask him about that time period too. Obviously, this was a significant event, but what came out of it for him?
Or have him call next week too.
Or have him call next week. Yeah, that sounds great. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, when the music plays, that's Benny going,
we got to roll.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and I'm so grateful that Radleigh and Dougall were on the show today. Love both of them. And you have to come see them at East West Bookshop February 7th and 8th. And I have a class coming up in February. It's about money, attracting wealth, allowing the vibration of wealth to come in your life. It's online. Go to energyintuitive.com. Bye-bye for now.
The views expressed on